There we go. All live.
Sorted.
So, welcome everyone to the channel. If you're watching, so this is the last time we're going to use this setup, and the next one we bring you, hopefully, will have a intro video and a background as well. Unfortunately, StreamYard want to charge me ridiculous money for that, so we're just using their free platform at the minute. So tonight's just a general chit chat really. And with the hosts, the three of us, which are going to do it every Sunday of the month, guys. You reckon?
Yeah. Yeah, sounds good.
One day, last Sunday, or one Sunday of each month, anyway. So yeah, how you guys been doing anyway? What have you been up to in the world?
Alright. We've been getting ready for Halloween and trying to find some new places to find some investigations as well. So, been trying to look into different areas to go to.
That's not the. You still near Cannock Chase, Claire?
We're about 40 mile away now. So, we're like in Shropshire, but we're always up in Cannock because my family's round there and they
Mm-hmm.
live all round the Chase. So, I'm always up that way for walking in the Chase or visiting family. So, it's anything that goes on, I tend to get to hear about it. But being this close to Wales as well, we get really open skies. So, I have seen some crafts over this way as well as up in the Chase. So, we've been quite lucky where we've been situated with getting to see stuff in the sky.
I suppose distance wise, I'm probably the furthest one away from you two. So, Chris,
Yeah,
you're Wales way, aren't you?
yeah, I'm West Wales, right on the coast.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
nice,
got, I
And
got
Claire,
nice.
you're
dolphins. I
south,
got
aren't you?
dolphins playing in my back garden.
So yeah,
I I grew up in the Midlands, and so I know Cannock Chase. I know all around that area. Cannock Chase it can be a really eerie place.
Yeah.
But you've also got Sutton Park. I grew up around Sutton Park and playing there when we was kids, building dams in the rivers and all that lot. So, but yeah, I grew up around the Midlands and that. I love it.
what's
And it's very
that
funny
area?
those spots up.
Is it like I say the whole area in itself? What sort of? I mean, I've read up on a few bits. I think it's the is it the black-eyed children and the
Oh
pigman
yeah, Cannock Chase, yeah, in the woods,
German
Black Eyed Children, yeah,
cemetery or something? The World War II cemetery there.
yeah.
Isn't there like
That's
a
it.
control tower or something as
There
well?
used to be, I think the control tower went years ago. Well, yeah, it used to be an old air base up that way, but there was a lot of air bases around the Midlands
Yeah.
because of the industry and everything. They used to build Spitfires on the Bromford, on the Bromford estate, which is where you got the goods, the Dunlop, Fort Dunlop, and everything.
Yeah.
Castle Bromwich, that's where they used to build all the Spitfires. All the factories used to be on there and everything. So a lot of industry around the Midlands.
So it's quite an
Nice.
interesting.
And I used to go to the German Shepherd, the cemetery bit, and that's where I've seen the soldiers and that marching. And
Yeah.
I've picked up all different weird noises around there and lights that just seem to come towards you and then disappear. And we've had crafts follow us home, literally, in the sky.
You had the
Friends
was it the
of
triangles, Claire? You had one time.
Yeah, we had three flying right above us and they stayed right with us until we got back home. So that freaked us out a little bit because they was low enough to see them and they literally stayed in formation in the sky around us. So it was before all the phones all come out as much as they did with the cameras and everything, but it just followed us all the way back. But we kept picking up things when we went there. So it was either spiritual or we'd seen like the UFOs. And then if you go a bit further, you've got the Castle Ring, which I just sent you the news bulletin about. So that's been known to have some UFO sightings as well. And then you got the big beasts as well, haven't you? Like standing wolf type creatures.
Yeah, that's strange, isn't it? Because they've been seen. Well, there's accounts of it all over the UK, isn't there? Of different areas where this supposed beast or dog man or something's been seen. I mean, is it a real creature, or is it something of the spiritual realm? I suppose is the question to ask. Really, I don't know too much on that sort of cryptid side, but it definitely sparks an interest on my side. 'Cause it's something other than UFOs and ghosts and stuff. So it's interesting to hear about these accounts. But sometimes I feel, is it the dark woodland? Is it something on our brain? But then these people are reporting seeing these things, smelling them. I suppose it's very odd.
Well,
Well, the
these
one I
these reports, they go back centuries.
Yeah,
yeah,
It isn't just a new thing. I mean, you had farmers back in the 18th century reporting beasts that were stealing the flock. Yeah, and even a clergyman that told a story of when he left the church one night, and he said that he heard something around the tombstones and was chased back to his home with this thing chasing him and everything. And he described it as a large, hairy man.
yeah.
So there is something about it. A lot of history throughout, like southern England and everything, of reports of this creature type thing. So I don't know. There's got to be something into it.
well,
So,
when I went to the Witch Museum in North Devon, I bought a few books there. And one of them was The Black Dog. It's
Yeah,
quite a thick book, and it's just all over the country of a black dog or beast thing, and it's all sort of relating to the witches and stuff, all sort of going on around that time. So that's quite an interesting read. I haven't finished it yet, but it's all mainly. Is it the Black Shrub? Is it Norfolk Broads around there? It's been seen. I think on one account it was seen in a church and it scratched at a door, and to this day they've still got the scratch mark on the door of this church. So
another one I can describe it was chasing round by the sheep on the Shugborough side of Cannock, but it just looked like a big wolf at first, but then it stood, and then you could see how tall it actually was when it was standing, and it just ran rather than as they would usually run on all fours. It was on its hind legs, which was a bit weird. So it'd be interesting to know more about that side of the cryptids to try and understand what it was.
you also got other ones, haven't you? You've got like the Owl Man, and you've got Mothman as well. I mean, I've worked
Yeah,
on Prophecy, so that's good
yeah.
for.
A friend of mine who in the US, he covers a lot of the Mothman stories. I hadn't heard so much until my friend Hides. He posts about it on our Discord. We've got a Bigfoot and cryptids and that, and there's quite a lot about Mothman on there. So I've learned so much about Mothman. And I always say that there has got to be somewhere for the story to start.
yeah,
Somebody must have seen something, or a story's been passed down through the generations or something. I don't know. But when you get the same features being mentioned over and over again, there's got to be something in it. It's the same as the UFO phenomena and people seeing alien beings and that. There's over 1 million people that have reported being like abducted and everything. So it's either they're all lying or there's got to be something in it. And
yeah,
I tend to be there's something in it. You can't
Yeah,
have over millions of people over like a century all saying the same thing. So there's got to be something in it. So when I hear all these stories over the years, you start paying attention and start making links like other stories that have been centuries ago. So yeah, it's really, really interesting. I do the same with crop circles as well. I don't tend to do the modern stuff. I look for the older versions.
yeah.
So yeah,
It's quite interesting there. I'm with you on that one, Chris. I mean, lately I've been looking in, as I was telling you guys, into the Chesterfield Head, and I've been up there twice because basically during COVID, when we used to be in lockdown, we used to go to work. Well, I've been on night shifts. We used to do like job and knock, so you'd finish, and because of this protective bubble, they say, right, once you finish your job, you guys can go home. Instead of going home, because I suffer from pretty much insomnia, I can't sleep, you know, because I'm normally work those out. I shot off Chesterfield Head twice. It's about a 20-minute drive from Basingstoke along the M3 up 272, come off at Winchester. I was up there one night, and this is before I knew anything about this area. All I knew at the time was that the Southampton UFO group used to go up there, and they used to go up Portsdown Hill as well. They used to camp up there. So I was on my own up there one night. It's about 2 a.m. I sat there and I was eating a sandwich I got from Tesco earlier on that night, and I was just watching. Really, had Radio 2 on, and a big streak of light caught my attention. I thought it was a meteor, if I'm honest. It's just a big flash streak across the sky, and I was like, wow, look, meteor. That was the only thing really of interest. And the second time I went, there wasn't much to report back on. It's just a car park. But I was looking through local archives on various sites, and the 272 popped up with Chesterfield Head. And I found a whole archive of stuff going from 1971 all the way to 97 and to as late as 2008 of research. And one of them was the White Crow Project, which was squat circles. Now, what ties into that, I mean, you could do a whole show on this subject out that area because there's just so much I found out. A local guy, I can't remember his name, he'd been doing it in the late 70s, crop circles with his friend who's now deceased, and they used to go down the pub and draw these plans out and wipe them out.
Is that Stuart Williams?
No, I can't remember his name. It wasn't that. It was, but he's an old boy. And these other, and they're actually artists. But now, when he's interviewed, I think it was on Country File. I did an episode on it, and it's on that link I sent you, Chris. You can watch the archival footage of Countryside, and he's saying that there's a reason. Like now, he thinks that there's a reason why he did it. But he had this artistic mind of doing these circles and that. But he seems to think now there's a reason why he done it. But when saying that, so he'd made these circles for a laugh and a joke around that area. Now, what was interesting is another guy did the research, and he found other circles made, but they weren't big circles. They were little circles in the corn. No one came forward with that, but they were within 12 miles of each other on the same night, exactly the same pattern. And one of them, I've got a picture of it. The guy has actually got a photo of a white orb over this circle.
Wow.
That was during the sort of late 70s. And the other one was along the 272 near Chesterfield Head. An elderly couple saw a cartwheel, an orange cartwheel, just rolling across the countryside. Literally this massive flying saucer. And it was like the old, what they described it as, like the old horse and cart. A wheel like that, and it was bright orange, and it just sort of just span across this field. They're amazed by it. Another couple picked up on the police radio, because back then the old radios used to tune them in, used to be able to pick up the old police frequency, and they're scouring for a radio channel. They heard the police. There's reports of strange lights, so they went down to where the police were or were heading, and again they saw lights in the sky, bizarre, strange lights. And all this is archived on Google. Anyone can look into it. It's just type in Chesterfield Head A272, and it brings it all up.
Wow.
But here's
That's definitely interesting, isn't it?
yeah.
There's a lot of history.
The other one is that they held Boom Festival there. Boomtown Boom Festival. What am I like? Boomtown, which is a big rave festival. And when you Google that, there's a recent one, I think it's from 2024. A lady's reported, whilst being at that festival, seeing lights above the festival. Now, I know
I've seen the video.
Yeah, above Boomtown.
Yeah.
And that is the same place in that bowl where these lights have been seen over circles and that.
Yeah.
But they hold this great big rave festival there. I mean,
Yeah, my friend goes to it every year.
yeah,
The the other year there was lights being filmed in the sky. Thousands of people at the festival saw it.
yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah,
It's quite
Did,
interesting.
did they find out what the lights was?
no,
No, these
no.
reports are
Wow.
going back. They
They had
vary in
people
colour.
there that were true UFO fanatics. They was on their phones looking to see if it was satellites, seeing if it was aircraft. Nobody could pick anything up on their phones or anything.
Wow.
So there was smart people there that was doing the checks, which I thought was really
Yeah.
cool. But they didn't find out what the lights were. So
Wow.
There's another
So
guy, he's, who went there on the off chance, actually. He was supposed to go to another area because it's South Downs Way. It takes you all the way down across the south coast. There's a public footpath, and you can drive it, but when it stops, it's a public footpath. It takes you all the way through fields and that. It's a right of way. And there's 2 reports along there of these strange lights. People have been walking along that path and seen them along the road of a 272. They've seen them. I was trying to think of the. So this guy. I saw his video on what he does is he on YouTube his videos he's posted. He films it, but when he takes a JPEG on the slots and you can see the little dots in the sky he's filmed, which only appear in still frames, not on the actual video. So that was interesting. And he told me when I messaged him, I got in contact with him, and he basically said he went to another location, but he decided to end up at Chestwood's Head. And he was there and basically got multiple phenomena over that way.
wow.
So
So there's a
he
lot of activity there then.
picking up light, strange noises, saw flashes in the forest behind him. There's like a woodland where that bowl is. Around the edge of that bowl there's a woodland. And he said it's like somebody had a torch and was turning it on and off, like a beam sort of thing. But he didn't really reply to me, so it's like he was reluctant to talk about it. So yeah, it was a bit odd.
Right.
so
There's a lot of
just had,
people have the encounters that are quiet.
What's that, Claire?
I was just saying there's a lot of people that have the encounters that go very, very quiet afterwards.
Yeah. So
there's one up north, and it was reported by an earl of Lincolnshire, I think it was, and he reported a battle that was going past on this path, and there was all these soldiers carrying pikes, and they had all the old metal helmets on, and it was all carrying muskets and everything. But as there was all going, like this is all like a ghost scene. And he said it was going on for about a good 15 minutes, right in front of him. Loads of other witnesses as well. But their feet, they was in the ground. And people was like, well, how come they had no feet? Well, back then, the soil levels would have been lower for what they were walking on. And then over time, the soil has been building up. So when they was being seen, they had no feet. And people was trying to work it out for years. Well, why was these ghosts being seen without feet and that? And then they worked out that it was ground level. And this Earl reported it in this book, that this whole battle procession walks past him going down this road and everything. And I think it was something to do with like the Battle of Bosworth or something. I'd have to check up on the names and everything, but it was something that intrigued me. And I remember going to it, and there's an A road that runs right next to this hill. And people have said that they've heard cannon fire and horses galloping across fields and that, but there's been nothing there.
Oh,
So
really?
the whole area is like got like a vibe to it. And it is really spooky when you go there. It really does freak you out.
It reminds me of there's a little forest on the way to Church Stretton, and that's got like reports of seeing battles and soldiers there as well. So there's a lot of people keep doing reenactments because of how active it actually is. and that's like a little nook of a forest that goes onto a mine as well. So that has a lot of activity there.
'Cause you've you had the picture, really interesting picture you took there, wasn't it, of that craft that your daughter took?
That's it. Yeah, she was forever in the back garden taking photos of the sheep and everything outside because they were literally right behind us. So she was forever with a camera, and she just literally took one up of the clouds and that, and she ran and it says, "What's this triangle flying above the house? Have I caught a UFO or something?" And that's when like I got the picture and had a look at it, and I was like, I can't see anything to explain why it's like in a triangle shape right above us, and then it just disappeared. So we just kept looking out after then, and you would see like things fly over because it'd be such clear skies because we were right on top of one of the big hills there. You could just see things flying over, but it'd be so quiet and no reports of anything flying over at the time. So it was quite an
Well,
interesting photo.
I saw some this afternoon. I went into my kitchen, switched the kettle on, looked out the window because it's a nice blue sunny sky out there today. And then I see this white object going towards the sea. And I was thinking, it's a balloon, it's a plane, whatever. But I didn't see no wings. And then I noticed that the clouds are coming towards me, but this object is going away from me. So does that mean this thing's going against the wind? I couldn't tell because I was in my kitchen. And then I'm sort of feeding the cat and trying to make a coffee at the same time. So I'm trying to get those two out the way so I can run out the front, run around the back, and then see if I could still see this object. But, things took over. And so again, I see something in the sky that I didn't get to video or anything. And it's annoying.
It's
Because I
almost
see,
like it catches you out, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, the amount of times that I get to see something and I haven't got my phone on me or something. It
Yeah.
bloody drives me up the wall.
Oh, they're so quick as well. When they appear,
Yeah,
it's like, where's it gone? And it's like
yeah.
it
Well,
it feels like it knows you're getting your
you would
phone.
have to have your phone sellotaped to your hand all the
Yeah,
time. So then when you see something, you're ready. Because by the time you've got into your pocket, you took your phone out, you set it to like camera or something, this thing's gone.
yeah.
So it is so annoying.
That's why the
Do
only
it.
times we've caught it is if we've literally been filming something in the sky prior, like when we had that little shower a bit ago.
Yeah.
When we was everyone was like filming the sky and everything. That's why we caught like a little light, but it was going in a circle pattern. It didn't go over, it was just going in a circle, and then it did all like zigzags. It was like, what's going on there? It's like meteors come down and it doesn't do loops and or little
I've caught
patterns and everything.
I've caught a lot in Wales. Some strange things. There was one. I walked my mate home. He just moved into a new apartment on the seafront. He came round to my house. It was getting late. I said, "Come on, I'll walk you round to yours, and then I'll go to the shop on the way home." He was all right. So we walked down to the seafront. We're both standing against the railings, and we can just about see the sea because it's pitch black. And then this object with a red light on it, and then it'd go out, and then a green light would come on, and then that'd go out, and then a red light would come on. But it wasn't like what it was on an aircraft. It was just on and off. It wasn't like navigation lights that you get on an aircraft, right? So then my mates turn around and says, "Oh, it's a drone." And I was like, okay, so why can't we hear it?
Yeah.
It was really close to the shore with these lights blinking, really small as well. And he said, "Oh, it's a drone." But when I said it's a drone, two of the students, they've walked up and then they've gone, "Oh, yeah, it's a drone." And then I said, "Well, why isn't it making any noise then?" And then it's like, "Oh, yeah." And then it's gone over the top of the pier up over the
Yeah.
castle, then we've lost sight of it. But it was really fast as well. And
Wow.
I get to see stuff like that around here all the time. Now, I know what drones are like. I've got a drone myself. Now, I know what the lights are like. I know what the aircraft lights are like. I got brought up around aircraft, living near airports and that most of my life. So you get to know what the sequences are like on aircraft and that. This was nothing like an aircraft. And
That's like around here, Chris. I mean, I've
yeah,
got Heathrow, Gatwick, Flatbush. You got about another 3 airports, and that light I sent you, and anyone watching, if you go on the channel and the videos, like Skydance, I've named the footage under. This thing's just beeping around in and out, and then I enhanced that footage, and I've circled it, and if you turn your brightness up, I only found this when I turned up the brightness on the PC and on the mobile. You see this thing flash like that, and it goes from there to there, and you see a trace of it. Now, if you work that out, how many G's that thing's pulling to go
yeah,
from a standing start, so it's flashing there, it's disappeared, it's flashed there a couple of times, and then from there you see it morph. Do a line like that, and this is in daylight, in blue sky. It just goes whoomp, it starts flashing up here, and it disappears.
Wow.
So is that a plasma or some sort? I don't know, but if that's piloted, the amount of G's you look at that footage, that's putting some sort of, G-force to do that maneuver. It's incredible. I can't believe it. And I was only in the garden playing with the dogs,
Wow.
and I thought it was an aeroplane with the sunshine off it, and it's come over my neighbour's house. I said, what is that? Because it then started flashing, and it split into two, and the second one shot straight up and disappeared, and the other one's just flashing away. It's a shame that, when we update this platform, guys, in the chat, this is the first, to anyone watching, this is like the first proper stream. We've been trying to do this for a while. But we're going to change platform from StreamYard. As good as it is, we're going to another platform where you can upload videos and stuff, and I can then, and like the other guys, Claire and Chris, can share videos of evidence they've got and what we've got, basically, and to share that and hear everyone's thoughts on it. Because I know, Chris, you've got interesting stuff, Claire as well, so it'd be good to share that.
I got tons of stuff
Go on,
I've
Chris.
collected over the years. So, I'll be happy to share. A lot of the material that I've got, though, is from what other people have filmed. I have got my own material. I did have a lot more of my own material, but it all decided to get wiped off my PC, so I lost a lot. But yeah, I either film it myself, or I've got a lot of people that live in Wales, South Wales, and that lot, and they'll send me clips and everything, and then I'll share it on all the platforms and everything. I do a lot of work for Christina Gomez, who's in the chat at the minute.
I see. Hi, Christina.
Yeah,
Nice.
she's got her own podcasts and everything. So she covers a lot of the stuff, and then if she brings out something that I haven't seen, then I'll go and chase it up and look online and everything. And I just love how we're all sharing this information. We're being lied to by all the governments. They're not willing to share anything. And we're getting the public's information and everything that they're putting online, and we're sharing everything that they've got. And this is how we're learning, because we're not being told from the governments. So everything else that everybody, the public film, we're sharing it that way. Bringing attention to what people film, their own encounters and everything. I mean, if we have to, we'll make up a catalogue of everybody else's encounters. Let the governments carry on with their pilots and army personnel and military and everything. Let them do all their investigations with them. I'm more interested in what the public's got to show. Because
counts.
Yeah, I mean, the public have been talking about their encounters for years, and they get dismissed because they haven't got any credibility. They're not got a pilot's license. They haven't got a military license or anything. So people don't listen to them. but these are the people that these things are happening to. Most of my material is from the public. I've hardly got anything from the military. And it's they're the ones that keep saying, "No, there's nothing to see here."
Was it Kurt Russell? Saw the Phoenix Lights coming into land.
Yeah.
And he's dropping his son off to see his girlfriend, and he's coming in, and the son said, "What are those lights in the sky?" And he logged it in his flight log, but then forgot about it. Didn't mention it until it got brought up back in '97, and then he checked his flight log and went, "That was me. I sort of somebody brought it up about the airplane, and it was him." We got a celebrity there seeing something, didn't report it.
There's a lot of celebrities that have seen things over California and LA over the years, but don't say anything because they're worried that it's going to ruin their credibility. So they keep themselves to themselves. They don't say anything. And now, because it's out in the mainstream, people are open more and talking more about it. A lot of these celebrities now are coming forward with their own encounters. So, and because these celebrities have got a lot of followers, people are starting to pick up on what they're saying. So they're coming out with their own stories of what happened to them. So there is more and more people now that's interested in the phenomena than there has ever been. And with social media spreading the word as well, the government can't put the toothpaste back in the tube anymore. It's not going to work. It's too much out in the open. So
yeah, it's before, and that everyone was too nervous to actually come out and admit that they'd seen anything. And I think when they join the communities where everyone's had an experience, they feel a bit more easier to talk.
It's been hard for a lot of people because of the stigma, because of the ridicule. I still get it today. But to me, it's water off a duck's back. You know, I've had all the name calling and the heartache and everything, and it's just like, yeah, okay, whatever. But the people that haven't said anything for years, and then they've suddenly come forward, and on our platforms, we don't stand for bullying. We don't stand for ridicule. We let people talk, and we listen, and we discuss it. And if we think that they're BNSing, then we'll tell them that you're full of BS. Like, you know, but we do it in a tactful way. We don't just come out and attack somebody. And we get liked for it because people feel safe that they can come in, they can talk, they can chat, and they don't feel pressured. If they want to do it anonymously, they can. So, and we've had people that have been monitoring the monitors, which I didn't know about at the time. And they was asking us if they could do a study on us to find out how we deal with monitoring. We think it was to help the AI system, so they can program the AI system to be more human-like. So it's got empathy and feeling and things like that, which is not going to work. But they was asking us questions and everything. How do we monitor and everything? And we had to go through the. You believe what the person says. You don't have to believe in what they're saying, if you know what I mean. You believe they believe it, even if you don't believe in their story. No, it's too far fetched, and you can't get your head around it. You still believe in what they believe. So. And it helps as well because it takes out all the nervousness when you're asking questions and everything. But yeah, I used to shout and argue at people and really scream and shout because I wanted to be heard because nobody was listening to the facts that people was collecting. And I've stopped doing it now. It's just there's too much out there, too many arguments. And we're all looking for the same answer. We all want to find out what's going on.
Yeah. Views on it, don't they? Seeing it's always best to just have that open ear to everyone.
Oh, yeah. But this is why I like the platforms that I'm on now. The people that I've got to meet over the last couple of years has just been phenomenal. So much information, questions I was asking back in the 80s and the 90s. I'm getting answers of these people because of the researching that they're doing. And I feel a lot more calmer because, I mean, when it come out a couple of years ago that UFOs are real and we don't know what they are, but we're going to look into it, that was disclosure for me. Because
you'd never had that,
yeah.
say 10 years ago. You'd have been a tinfoil hat wearing, you know, you believe in nonsense. And the argument was always, well, you know, you have your own beliefs, but you'd be branded a tinfoil hat person, wouldn't you? Back in the day.
Yeah, a lot is being accepted now. I mean, everyone's talking about psionics and ghosts and cryptids and everything. And it's sort of being accepted because once you accept one thing, then the other things could be possible. I never got really into ghosts before. But from all the stuff that I've been reading up on and researching and everything, I'm getting more that there is something there. But I also believe that it's probably all connected to all the other phenomena as well. So I'm struggling with parallel universes and things like that and dimensions. I still can't get my head around that stuff.
That's a bit of a weird one.
I still keep saying, no, there's no dimensions. We don't live in a matrix. No, there's no. But I could be wrong. There's so much that I'm finding out lately that it's just, okay, yeah, I'm on the fence.
There's just so much going on, isn't there? And it could all be linked or replays and relays, as they call it. You just don't know what's going on lately.
Well, I suffer from insomnia.
3i Atlas, isn't it?
Yeah. So because I suffer from insomnia, I'm on the computer all the time researching.
Yeah.
And you go down so many rabbit holes and you find out so many things that you're not even researching, but you come across. And then it takes you down another little rabbit hole and you follow that one. And it's like, oh, this is getting me even more interested. And before you know it, like 2 days have gone by and you haven't eaten or slept or anything.
No.
So, and I do it a lot.
You're not the only one, Chris. I mean, I was up to knows what time this morning. Just working my shift pattern, and I'm actually off this week, so it's going to be fun trying to sleep as I work night.
I know that Tyler and Christina in the chat, they're both the same as well. So we hardly sleep. We just research and research and research. That's all we do. But I love it.
Morning,
I don't class it as like a job or anything. This is like, I just love it.
Well, going back to that Chester's Head thing, you know, I was reading up on those sightings, and then I was looking at another link this morning, and then the White Crow project came up. I was like, oh, what's that? I clicked on it, and it's going on about the 272 and these circles and that. And I was up till 4:30 this morning just reading that article I sent you and Claire. I like that. Christina Gomez just said, who needs sleep? Only
We don't need sleep. We don't need sleep. I keep saying I'll have all the sleep when I'm gone. Dead and buried.
Yeah, I say it's all very interesting stuff. We got, as I read up on these comets now, they found another one, Comet Swan.
Yeah, there's Comet Swan.
Which has got a big tail. 3i Atlas has got a tail in front of it. And another 5. 7, that's a total of 7 of them or something, isn't it? Coming towards us now.
Yeah, you know what it is, Terry? These are all different races, and they're all coming towards Earth. There's going to be a massive battle, and we're just going to be sitting there with our popcorn watching it, man.
Yeah.
They're going to be there with all the recordings that we're standing up there to them.
Don't you think it's crazy how the Swan and 3i Atlas, was it 2 days of it within each other over in September, October? I think they come and then they're sort of like within days of each other, they're passing them and they're both going behind the sun.
Yeah, there's there's going to be 2 days where you're going to be able to see 2 asteroids in the same part of the sky at the same time.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they said it's like a historic thing. It's never happened before. It probably has before our time. But to have 2 comets, especially one that's going to, I think it's probably going to be, if anyone remembers the comet Hale-Bopp back in
I remember,
'97,
Bob. I remember,
I
Bob.
think Swan will be an eyesight like that, if I'm honest. I think we're going to have quite a good show.
Yeah, but Bob, you could actually see with like the naked eye with this big blue tail coming from behind it. I remember, Bob. And Halley's Comet, I remember when that went over.
I
Because
remember
that's like
that
every
one.
74 years, isn't it, Halley's Comet?
Yeah.
Something
But that Hale-Bopp, did you ever remember? They reckon it had things in the tail, didn't it? It was debunked as stars or planets in the tail, but it was all over the Art Bell show of his craft. I remember it I was probably about 15, 16 at the time, and there's this little craft scene, and they were moving each night in the tail, and then you had the Heaven's Gate cult, and then you also had the Phoenix Lights as well, the same year.
And they had that one that was shaped like a cigar, didn't they? That was
Yeah.
in the sky. Did they ever find out what that was?
I don't know.
It was
Probably
when there was.
schoolwork.
Yeah. I know there was a lot of pictures about it at the time, and they were saying there's messages coming through and everything. They kept taking photos.
Well, I just watched Jesse Michael's newest one, and it was on about the satanic rites that they used to do before a NASA launch and everything. It's really interesting. But there was on about the Big Dipper and Orion's belt and all that lot. Well, all through my life growing up, when I've always looked at the stars, one of the first things I always look out for is the Big Dipper. Because you can find anything you want to look for by just looking for the Big Dipper first. You can find out where the North Star is and everything else, right? So I've always been fascinated by like the Big Dipper, you know. But I used to call it the saucepan because that's what it used to look like. You know, it looked like a saucepan, handle and that. And then I got to know Orion, and I remember looking at through a telescope at Orion's belt and seeing the Orion Nebula for the first time and being blown away by it. And I'm hoping that Betelgeuse goes off in because that'll be a spectacular sight to see. But yeah, I've always been fascinated by Orion and that. So when I was watching Jesse Michael's show today, he was talking about how civilizations going back throughout history, throughout like Egypt and the Mayans and that, they all celebrated the Big Dipper and Orion and the belt and everything. So, and they all point to something happening from that point, you know, from Orion.
Yeah.
So, and it was on about NASA with the patches and how they always have the star constellations, Orion and all that lot on their patches, and saying that the rites and the rituals that NASA go through every time there's a rocket launch. And so I messaged Jesse Michael earlier and said, you've got to do a part 2. Definitely got to do a part, because you're only scratching the surface on what NASA does. So, but I also sent NASA a message the other day telling them to stop lying about the I3 Atlas.
Yeah, very strange, that one, isn't it?
Well, what gets me is you've got observatories around the world that are monitoring this atlas, and they've noticed that this thing has done course directions. It's changed direction and then it's gone back to the original course direction. And this thing is giving off, there's no iron, it's nickel. I don't understand. Near enough everything that's flying out there has got iron in it. And this hasn't got any iron in it. and that's not strange. But where you've got all these observatories, they're coming out with what they're observing, and then NASA comes out and totally contradicts everything, saying, oh no, they've got their calculations wrong. Here's the proper calculation. I'm sorry, NASA, but I don't listen to a word you have to say.
Yeah.
Plus, Tyler, who's in the chat, he works at an observatory. So he looks at all the stars and everything. So, you know, I'd rather listen to him that comes out with the actual facts than NASA that hides them all. So, yeah.
And there's been a lot more of the people like pilots and that admitting that they've spotted things as well, hasn't there now?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that we're observing more because we're paying more attention. We've got more satellites that are out facing outwards instead of facing inwards. So now we are starting to pick up on objects that's flying out there. But we've always known that there's objects flying out there, rock and ice and whatever. And we've always observed them, and they all come up with the very similar characteristics. But this is totally different. This is not giving off the evidence that all the other asteroids have been given off. So,
Yeah.
and NASA's not really paying any attention to it.
I think they'd be wanting to look into it more,
Oh,
wouldn't
they'd
you?
be all over this. They are all over this. There's just, and also they're withholding a lot of data. They're not coming forward with the data. And it's like, why are you holding all this data? Why don't you want the public to find out certain things about this object? And it's
Yeah.
getting really, really annoying now. And there's loads of people that are starting to question what NASA's doing again.
There's been a lot of rumours about bases in the edge of, I think it's Florida and things, where the greys are and things like that, isn't there? Been a lot of things coming out about the tunnels as well underground that used to be used. So there's been a lot of photos.
Apparently there is a lot of military bases that are connected through these tunnels. I know that they had a tunneling system in Area 51 to go through mountains and things, so they can do underground facilities. And there's all things tunneling or digging underground.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Did you hear about the tunnels with there was different rooms and one of them was called the nightmare room and things like that? Did you hear about that one?
Yeah, there's low. I mean, the best place to hold a secret is underground. So no satellite can pick you up, and nobody driving past on a road can suddenly take photographs or put a drone up in the sky. Everything's all underground, so nothing gets seen. And it's been like that for a long, long time. And America and Britain and that are not the only ones that have got underground facilities. Russia, China, anybody who's got a military has got an underground facility. So it'd be a perfect place to hide UFOs, aliens, whatever, even missiles, whatever. Just keep it all underground. Nobody can see it. Nobody can take photographs of it. But yeah, there's a lot of places like that all over America, UK. There's just tunnels all over.
And they've started to find pictures of crafts and hieroglyphs as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
So that's should be giving some information as well as to how long they've been about.
Oh, Claire, is that
great.
one in New
Okay.
Mexico?
The tunnel with the rooms, I'm not sure. I know it was pulled up a bit ago. My husband was showing me. It's like, God, there's like so many different rooms down there. And there was like a nightmare room and several different rooms going down where they were apparently doing experiments.
Yeah, sounds like
and then there was...
Sounds like the Dulce place.
Yeah.
Right. The lower levels are for the alien beings to do their work. The upper levels were human, and then the middle levels they had like a mix of human alien beings mixing together. This was the claim off, and he got injured and everything.
Right.
Well, he said that he was a construction worker. He was hired to do some work in these tunnels. He got into a lift and went down further than he was supposed to. And when the doors
Right.
opened, there was beings there, and there was military, and then there was a firefight, and he got injured, and some of the personnel was killed off,
Right.
apparently. And he managed to get back in the lift and get back to the surface, injured, but he told his story and then mysteriously died, which is not the first time that's happened.
Yeah, you tend to find the big stories that come out, you either can't find them to, so it's used to be really hard.
I used to have a lot of years ago. I had everything wiped off my PC. I had years and years of like data and videos that you can't get on YouTube anymore. Gone, scrubbed. So a lot of material that I had, it's gone. So I had a lot of tests in early 70s of personnel that was being recorded for having like stress disorder on the battlefields, and when they're giving their testimony about having sightings of a craft, testimonies that I paid attention to and tried to follow up on a lot of the stories. But back then, back in the 80s, you could hardly get information because there was no like internet like what it is today. You wanted information, you had to either go to a library and go through all the old files and newspaper clippings and everything, or send in to the governments and ask for files. You can't do it now. Not with the British government. Information I had, you can't get now. I tried to get a lot of videos that I had before. They've been scrubbed. There was a website where it was testimonies from the public, but also from police officers, military, doctors, nurses, and that. And these are the encounters that they'd had through their lives. All that's been scrubbed off the internet. That's gone. There's loads of stuff that's been took off the internet.
It's like it's all vanishing. It's like that lady, she released the footage, didn't she, of her working, and then it was like a bull guy come in, and then all of a sudden she just willingly followed him out the
she took a
building.
gun out of her handbag and handed the gun to him, and then
Yeah,
walked out the office with him. Yeah, that's where it's been a Men in Black.
there's been lots of sightings like things like that, hasn't there?
But it's
So it's like
it's these the same encounters that you keep hearing about these Men in Black, where they don't look right. The nose is different. Their eyes are fixed, totally glazed over, and everything, and they look the same.
it's like when we went to the chase, when we kept seeing the things above us. We also had like a car drive in front of us. We was at the military museum, and then all of a sudden this car drove slowly ahead. But what was weird was it was very late at night. It was dark, but they had sunglasses on. And I'll never forget, they had sunglasses and a moustache, jet black sunglasses, and they were just staring at us instead of the road ahead. And then I drove back up and looked again, so we just left.
We tried to get onto a military base when we lived in Staffordshire years ago. and we got onto the runway starts, like, and we ran to this like white and red little box right at the end of the runway, and half of it's red and half of it's white, and we're hid by there.
Right.
And I said to my mate, I goes, over in the hangars over there, just only joking with him, I goes, there's a UFO. Well, I knew there was nothing over there. Well, we nearly ended up getting arrested that night.
Oh.
Because we got right up close to like where the hangars are.
Right.
And then like Jeep turned up and we got escorted off the site, and they said, oh yeah, we could arrest you and all this. Like, and then when they turned around and said, see the UFO,
So that didn't go down very well. So that night sort of ended very abruptly.
well, I knew I knew
Just grab a drink if I was you.
I know 6 people that work in the military around that area. Is I get told all sorts of stories. I've had them turn around and saying that they've reported to their personnel manager or to the commanding officer that they've seen orbs over the bases, and then they've been told that they're not allowed to talk about it, they're not allowed to like write it in a book or anything. They just, but he turned around to me and said he is 100% sure that they know what these orbs are or what these spheres are. When the drone incursions was going on in America, we were getting them as well here in the UK.
Okay.
And I got in touch with a mate of mine who went out to the base on the first night when I get.
I'll just pour a can of Coke. Oh.
All right. They went down to the base on the first night. They recorded these spheres, and they were spheres. They weren't drones. The first 2 nights, it was only the drones they saw on the third night. And also, they get, and then they do patrols out in the North Sea, you know, to Russian incursions and things like that. Well, it's normally 2 planes that take off once every 15 minutes. The third night, these planes, 2 of them at a time, and these are Typhoons, and not the F-35. I can't remember the other plane, but they was taken off every 5 minutes. And he said that it's really unusual because normally it's once every 15 minutes you'll get 2 planes taken off. They do the patrol of the North Sea. The other 2 planes that have took off 15 minutes before, they come back into land, and then eventually they'll land at the airport back at the base, and then they'll refuel, and then they're back up again. Now, they do it all through the night, but it's also training the pilots as well for scrambles and things.
Yeah.
But they said that the third night when they was having the incursions, and they sent up these drones to find out what these spheres 5 minutes. And he said that they'd never seen anything like it. So, but they also had a warrant out for their arrest from the military base. Yeah, because of what they were filming.
There's been a lot of things in the war chest, isn't there? Like that naval base where they was told to keep below deck. They couldn't get on the top, could they? Because something was arriving. So there's been a lot of things either coming out the water or going in, and then just no one says anything.
You've got the Nimitz incident when you had military personnel. What happened then, Terry?
So something happened on our phone, just connected for some reason.
Okay. You had military personnel that boarded the ship after the incident and took all the data. They said that's unheard of. Nobody removes the data. It's stored on the ship. Moved all the data, and then all the crew was interviewed, and they was told that not to say anything. This didn't happen. We was never here. You know, silence, top secret, whatever.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to take data. That data is there for the ship's record, but they removed it. And it's like, well, okay then. If this is nothing really to worry about, why are you making a big song and dance by coming on the ship and removing all the data?
That's it. They're bringing more attention to it by doing that.
Well, that was just one incident on the Nimitz. There's been other vessels, American vessels, military and that have had the same procedure where they've had their data removed. So it can't get out to the public. That's what I think it's for. They remove the data so nobody can copy it and then release it to the public, or just let it slide through or something. I'm really annoyed with the military because the amount of information that they're sitting on. And it also annoys me as well is the American public have paid for a lot of the Black Project, but they're paying for it. That annoys me because the American public, they've paid for this stuff. They should get a right to see it. If they've designed a new weapon and the American public have paid for it, they've got a right to see it. Show it. If you've got a flying saucer that you've managed to get from like reverse engineering, and the American public have paid for all that technology and everything, like and all the scientists and that, then
I think they'd at least release just a little bit of info, even if they don't want to release stuff for safety or something. It's just nice to reassure everyone, at least let them know what's going on, rather than just keep deleting things, because that's just drawing more attention to it and more questions.
But yeah.
So if they just release something.
But what also gets me is you're getting people turning around saying the UFO phenomena doesn't exist. There's nothing to it. So there's nothing to it. Why is Congress looking into it? Why is all these governments around the world putting loads of energy and money into researching it if there's nothing in it? So stop telling the public that there's nothing in it and UFOs don't exist or anything, and start coming out with, this is what we've been working on for the last 70 years. We had something fall out the sky, we've back engineered it, we've made our own version of it. This is what all the speculation and the arguments. Because
you could see where something had crashed in it, and everyone was told to keep quiet, and they kept seeing lights shooting through the windows, didn't they? Like rods and things.
Yeah, it's the same as the encounter down in Brazil, which is Christina Gomez's one of favourites encounters.
Okay.
And there was lights that was coming from the sky, from them, and it was like injecting into their skin, but it was like light, but they said it was like a needle.
Yeah.
They reported them as, they call them face peelers, because there's been encounters where people have been found where they haven't got a face. And they was told that it was miners on jetpacks, which I couldn't stop laughing when the authorities came out and said it was miners on jetpacks, and it was just like,
That's
are you really thinking that the public is that?
yeah. That's crazy. So I know there's
But they're trying to.
Yeah,
yeah.
they stayed up for nights with guns and everything. If these lights turned up or whatever, they would take pot shot whatever this thing was. They said it was a bit similar to the Green Goblin. It was going around, flying around on this type of shield type thing, and bullets was just bouncing off it and that. And
But then, do you remember that case, Chris? That family that got attacked by what they described as being goblins.
yeah,
It was in America.
yeah,
There's hundreds of them. It was going throughout the night. This sort of attack was happening, and they would defend themselves off to the next morning with whatever they had. And that was like goblins, wasn't it? They described the same sort of description.
but I mean, we keep getting the is it the Polaris incident, the one in Brazil, where, I mean, this is like in the 60s. And people was getting injured. They sent in the military, and they was thinking documenting everything. Not saving people from all the catastrophes that it was going through. They sat there and documented it, and then held all the information, what they collected, to themselves. They didn't release anything. And it's just like, it really annoys me. It's like they're allowing experiments on the public, and they know about the experiments that's going on, and nothing's being done about it. Carry on. Yeah.
It's a bit weird as well when you're investigating it, weird things happen, like old cars pull up outside your house and then disappear when you drive past, like that one in the chaser I was just on about. They just seem to turn up, don't they?
Yeah. I've had emails and phone calls telling me to stop investigating.
Have you?
I've had to report my phone number, my phone calls to O2, which is my service provider. I've blocked a lot of the emails unreported, and 2 I've reported to the police.
Wow.
And all they are is just stop what you're doing. Stop investigating. Stop researching. But I keep getting...
Have they ever traced them back?
No, you can't. You can't. You don't know where the emails come from. There's no... They use your email address. That's the weird thing.
Okay.
So it's sent from you.
Right.
If you know what I mean. It's
so
used.
They hack your system then?
I don't know how they're doing it. I don't care anymore.
No.
I don't carry on. I just don't care anymore.
It's crazy, isn't it? Because if there's nothing there, they shouldn't really be that worried about people wanting to look into it.
Well, no,
if there's nothing, you won't find it.
There is people in the government, American government, that are Congress. They're trying everything in their power to stop the witnesses and the whistleblowers coming forward to give their testimonies and their evidence. And I think it's shocking, because they've got no right in stopping anybody talking about anything. If they want to talk about something, they've got no right to say you're not allowed to talk about this. All right? You didn't want anybody talking about it in the first place, then don't talk about it. And if you didn't want all these people to start whistleblowing and all that, then don't give them sensitive information. I'm just tired that they have to keep everything secret and locked away. Yeah, fair enough. If you've made some weapon that is going to revolutionize the bleeding human race, and it's going to stop wars, then yeah, fair enough. Right? But if you've got something that you've like reverse engineered from something that come out of space that doesn't belong to you, then give it up.
Yeah.
I'm tired now. I'm getting really, really tired of all the people thinking that they've got a right to hold secrets from the public that have been paying for this technology over the years.
Yeah. It's not fair that things should be deleted off computers and things either, because it's been going on and on. It just seems to be the UAPs and the UFOs and things like that, and the rods. You used to find loads of it before, and now it's got like they try to take everything offline and everything.
So again, Tyler just said that's great. I just shared that footage of the plasma thing I've got in the garden when I was out with the dogs. Is it saying I've since 2012 I've had telescopes and everything looking up at the sky and stuff like that, and I've had loads of video footage of planets and that. So it's not like something I've just filmed in the sky and thought, I don't know, that looks odd. It's actually interested me into what it was because I couldn't explain it. I mean, it was flying from that direction, literally from London way. I just thought it was a plane with the sunlight on it. It was only when it split in two, I thought, what the hell was that? And I started filming it, and it's rubbish footage. If I'm honest, I had about 12% battery left on my phone. And it's just before it's just playing with dogs, and then it was only split in two. I quickly got my phone out, I mean, went to film it, and like Chris, like you said, I've then realised it's something of interest. I've left the dogs in the garden, which I never do. I had to shut the gate, ran upstairs, got my DSLR camera, ran back downstairs, try and get a better footage of it. Zoomed in on it with the manual focus, couldn't get anything. It only appeared on their phone camera and what I saw. So when I manually focused on it, I couldn't get it in the viewfinder. So yeah, I could see it in the viewfinder, but I just couldn't focus on it with that zoom. So that's why it's not great footage. But means what I had was a phone camera, so it wasn't a reflection of anything. It was actually something dancing in the sky. And I think it's probably some sort of plasma. But then they're going about these things being living plasma. So I've shown it to many people, and they've all found interest in it as well. So
it's unusual that it splits as well.
It sadly, it's when I was looking at it, because I thought it was a plane. We get so many planes around here, and it's just flying like that, straight line. And it sort of just went poof as it was going, and then this thing shot up, and I was like, "Oh, what was that?" Quickly got my phone, 12%. Don't run out with me, and I was trying to film it. I mean, it's almost like it knew I was watching because it performed that dancing, as you can see on the video there. It's just flashing, flashing, flashing. It's gone one bit here, up here, and you scroll through the footage. I've actually done a few videos on it on my website, YouTube channel. It's a 4-minute long video of it, and you can just see it. It's there 1 minute, up here, down there. And one of the ones I've highlighted it where it's just, you see it flash in, you can still see it, and it just warps up this way and then starts flashing again. So it's not a balloon. It's this way, this thing. You can still see a trace on it as it goes up. So it's like the light from the camera and the pixels. You sort of see it merge up like that. It's very faint. You have to turn your screen up to see it. But it's probably the best footage I've got. Apart from those other ones I've got during COVID with those rectangular things I've got.
The one above the tree?
Yeah, so another one.
It's flashing, it's all over the shop. That was crazy, that thing was.
This is one we're talking about, Chris. With Tyler there, I just sent the link to that video. I mean, you said to me, wow, you've got something there, didn't you? When I sent it to you, I said, what do you think of this? You're like,
this thing is just, you can't see it. You can only see the light from it flashing, and it's not constant like a flash. This is all over the shop. It's just, what the hell was that? So yeah, it was definitely, you caught something, and I was like, you've got to put it online.
What's that? Was it the other group as well? Because we were chatting about it, weren't we? And they've got multiple orbs. They've got what's it? UFO Explore, saying slow exposure, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Their group, they picked on stuff in Wales, and they sent on their Facebook page.
Well, he is from South Wales. He lives in South Wales, and
he got his channel. He's posted exactly the same thing.
Yeah, he picks up a lot of stuff. I can't actually remember his name at the minute, but I've got him on my friends, and he's forever putting stuff up that he's filming in Wales, like balls of light, spheres, triangle craft, all sorts. Wales is a hotspot, 100%. I see things new enough daily, like spheres, balls of light. That one at 3:30 in the morning where it was. I didn't put the kitchen light on because I've got a night light above the kettle, so it shines up all the worktop, so I don't have to put the main light on. Switch the kettle on, turn to my right, looked out the kitchen window, and then sees this bright. It's really hard to explain. It was just a white, bright light with streams of light coming off it, but it was all flashing colours.
Okay.
And then I grabbed my binoculars and I put them against the glass so they didn't move about, looking through the binoculars, focused, and then I see 3 dots of light,
Wow.
white light, really, really bright, and the colours was coming from them.
Okay.
So then I ran into the living room, grabbed my phone, ran straight back into the kitchen, put that up against the window frame to keep it still, and press record. But the phone didn't catch the light streaming off and giving it loads of like throngs of light all coming off it. You couldn't see that on the camera, but it did pick up it flashing all different colours. And then it shot to the left and then slowly went back to the right, back to where it was. And then again, giving off loads of colour. And then it just went higher and higher into the sky until I couldn't see it anymore and just got smaller and smaller and smaller, and it just faded out. But it was really high up at the time as well, so it wasn't a drone being flown over the sea at 3:30 in the morning. No. So I filmed it. I mean, you could even hear me in the video. I'm breathing heavy. I'm really excited. I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, 3:30 in the morning, I'm filming this, and you could hear it in the video. But the phone didn't pick it up very good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
sometimes it's good to just experience it, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. But you see, years ago when I used to film this stuff, I'd get really excited. Now I see him and it's like, oh yeah, that's no UFO. Yeah, whatever.
That's not the one.
I mean, if it's different and something that I'd never seen before, yeah, okay, I'll pay attention to it. But if it's an orb, okay, it's another sphere.
Yeah.
So.
With us, we keep getting like a craft go over, but there's no sound. When we've chatted, there's been nothing flying there, but you can see something, but it goes so quick. By the time you're trying to re-find it on your phone and everything, it's just gone straight away.
It was the same as my mum. We were walking. I went to meet him from work, and then we're both walking back to home. And we're walking along, just chatting, and then this black thing that had 4 layers, one layer, then another layer, then another layer, then another layer. So it was like 4 black rings, but they were joined. And that went straight past us and then round this massive hill. We lost sight of it. And we both just stopped and looked at each other and went, did you just see that? And he was like, yeah. And then we just carried on talking and just walking back out and then coming back to my house. But that's me and Dan. We've seen so much that it doesn't bother us anymore. We don't get excited anymore. And he filmed one from his back door, and it was an egg-shaped. I've got the photograph from that. Just a ball of light in the sky, big, slowly going over his house. No sound, no nothing, no lights flashing, nothing. So then he sends it me. He went, I just spied this from my back door. I was out the back having a cigarette. This went over my house. And I went, have you got all the metadata? And he's like, yeah. So he sent me all the metadata and all that lot. Because I'm putting this online. I'm sharing this with the public. Sharing it across all the platforms. I send Terry a lot of stuff.
You do. Oh,
He does, yeah, he does.
anything of interest, we'll try and find it. I mean, going. Well, I say let's mention the Tedesco brothers
Yeah.
and Robin.
Yeah, when
Give a
we
shout
interview
out.
them again. We're going to sort that out.
Speaking to Robin a bit now, because she's having her own stuff happen. She's messaging me about strange things going on with herself after they've been to locations. Robin and Jerry and John, I think they're writing up another paper at the minute with their research, but they're getting really interesting stuff out there.
Yeah, I messaged Brendan Fugel for him. Because Robin said that they was having difficulties with getting finance to keep the study going. So I said I'll have a word with Brendan Fugel. So I messaged him asking if he knew any investors that would help him. But I haven't heard back from him.
No, for anyone that doesn't know them, these guys are investing thousands in equipment, aren't they, Chris? And it's not just going out with a camera. These guys are trying everything. In the field they used to be engineers, so they're putting their engineer expertise into technology to find these craft and stuff, and they're picking up a lot of stuff. And I've by them that they've seen these so-called drones over the Long Island area of New York State, and
New Jersey.
they're not drones. Some of them are, and they found they're flying real drones around, and that is sort of like sort of telling the truth, but not telling the truth, isn't it? It's like we were flying drones, which they were apparently, and but they were lights seen and other things, really weird craft seen as well by witnesses.
Well, I think that the drones that they put up were
distraction,
a smoke screen, to try and take your mind
or
your eyesight off the spheres of light that was seen previously. Yeah. So if they fill the skies with loads and loads of drones, you're not going to notice the spheres or anything that was out there.
Well, what's weird, the drones were seen inland, but the spheres were seen out to sea or coming in from the sea. But they're passed off as just being drones. They were like, these are drones. Don't worry about it. We know about them, which they did. It was a lie, basically, but it wasn't a lie. It was just a distraction from what was actually going on. It's just, but there were things that couldn't be explained, and they've got evidence of it and on their equipment. So that was the latest update anyway, which when I last spoke to them. And they're still seeing them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, still seeing them out there.
I'm getting reports that the bases that was incurred the beginning of the year, they're still having incursions today.
Wow. So it's still ongoing then?
Yeah.
Apparently so. Yeah.
Wow. So they're still flowing the drones around just to try and distract everyone still? It's
I think it's now passed off as they were just drones flying around, and whatever people are seeing, they can just say, well, it's drones, we already said that, and it's just passed off, but they're still seeing this stuff. But their equipment they've got, I mean, Chris can tell you, they've got a whole RV rigged out with all this kit, and they're on about trying to get funding for a boat to go out and have a look further into the sea where these things are coming from. But what's interesting is, it's like, you could talk to them for hours about this stuff, but it was the light on the beach that paralysed them both. And it actually went into the camera lens and fiddled with it, and technically sort of broke the camera, didn't it? It was sort of going through the functions, clicking in that and zooming in and out, and it was playing with the camera as they were filming it, and they both got paralysed. So, very interesting stuff. And also the hitchhiker effect, I think, as well.
they also the other data that they got where the radar sent out a signal,
That's
and
it.
normally they got a signal back from whatever the radar hits. But when it was hitting these spheres of light or these balls of light, it the radar was doing like 4 rotations before they got any data back. And it's like the object was keeping the data and then sending it back when it wanted to.
Yeah.
And he actually proved a gravitational, was it not gravitational wave? What was it? Um, gravitational lensing. And he proved that the objects do gravitational lensing. And that's what's in the paper that he's writing and coming out with. But the FBI are really interested in the data that they're collecting.
Yeah.
So if the FBI are interested in the data that they're collecting, then maybe the FBI should help fund it.
Well, I'm good friends of these guys over there. Me and
Yeah.
Chris, really good friends of them. I'm going to plug their book because that's their book. You can buy it online. Nightcrawler, Eye in the Sky, and it's just literally full of data, these things they've seen, and it breaks down all the instrumental
Yeah.
and all the equipment these guys use.
Yeah.
I'm only halfway through it. I haven't finished it yet. I'm still trying to finish it. I keep bookmarking it, picking up to try and read it, but then I'm asleep.
The equipment that they've got, they've paid for out of their own pockets. I mean,
Oh,
I think
so yeah,
one of the
diamond fund.
cameras was something like £30,000 or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and all this is all their own equipment. It's paid for out. They're all their own pocket and everything. They're doing all their own research. They're not getting like any other organisations to come in and help them out. Everything's all done by themselves. And this is why I
Yeah.
give a lot of respect for what they're doing, because it's difficult in what they're doing.
Yeah.
They have to analyse, and the amount of data that they're collecting, they can't analyse it all. I said that they need an AI program to help them go through it all, because it's just there's too much for them to do. I've even offered my services. I said, look, give me some numbers to crunch through. I'll do what I can. But yeah, they need help. They need backing as well, so they can carry on.
It's like
So
a GoFundMe or something from
They
all the
have,
people that are interested to
Mm.
fund
on
them.
their website, you can donate. Something
Okay.
nightcrawler.org, I think it's on, but it's an American site, so it'd be in dollars, but you can donate to the research. But again, to me, these guys, like Chris was saying earlier, with NASA and that, just feeding us BS, these guys are out there and they're throwing their own money at it and they're just
Yeah.
getting stuff. I mean, I myself, when I filmed that with my mobile camera, I've since gone out and I've bought a thermal camera and I bought a Psionics camera, low light night vision camera. And I've also bought the infrared binoculars because this sort of thing you can see with this technology. And I'll probably spent, in it within about £1,000 on equipment, which I haven't used yet because I haven't had a chance to get out in the field. But hopefully, if Dave Monday gets back to me, we're going to go up Chestford Head and we're going to see what's up there. And we actually used a camera the other day when we had that eclipse, and it sort of showed it up on there, which is pretty good.
Well, it's the same as like when I go out like stargazing at night. I take about 5 different cameras with me.
Yeah.
And one of my cameras is a big VHS that takes the VHS tapes.
Wow.
And the reason why I've got that is if I see a light in the sky and I record it and it comes through on a VHS, people can't turn around and say, oh, you've hoaxed it, you faked it or anything, because it's really difficult to fake VHS tape.
Yeah, they're really
Right.
difficult.
So if I catch an object on camera, then I've got it on multi-cameras.
Yeah.
Not just digital. I've got it on analog as well. So, and I cover, and I've gone from like a GoPro version, my mobile phone, a digital camera, a web camera, and then my big like TV camera. So, and I use all 5 of them. And all were on the little tripods, and they're all pointing out in the skies and out like so.
Well, it's crazy because I've got the I'll have to post another link up in a minute. Good stuff. I've got this new platform. I can just share it on the screen, but I have to keep putting links in the comment section. But it's like when me and Dave Foster was down Waverley Abbey and we filmed the Monk. Again,
Yeah.
I'll put it in the comments so people can see the footage. But we got that on the Sony camcorder with the Night Shot Pro or the Night Shot Plus.
Oh.
That was on VHS. That was about 11 minutes before the tape ran out. You can see a monk walking across. Everyone's seen the footage. I'll keep banging on about it, but again,
Nah, Terry, I was still that light coming out of the side of the cliff. Still baffles me to this day.
what one was that?
That was the one where Paul filmed up on the cliff face, and you actually see a ball of light come out the side of the cliff and then go up and then across the field. I'll find the clip. Paul's got it on his site.
Was he? Oh, okay. Yeah. Well,
Let's see if you can share it.
It's the cliffs that you went to as well, and you saw. It's come from that.
Bempton, I think. Yeah, Bempton Cliffs, wasn't it? Yeah. I went up there September last year. Yeah, September last year. Took my mum away on holiday from Cyprus, and it's a place I always wanted to go because obviously I've read Paul's books and I'm interested in his work he does up here. He does fantastic work. So I thought I'd go up those cliff tops and have a look. So I've gone up. It's quite a funny evening actually because it wasn't a great week. So my mum fell over and had an accident. So one night we spent the whole night in Scarborough Hospital, which was probably more weirder than these cliff tops. People you met in there, but so I went up there on my own. Took the car up there, parked in the RSPB car park, and you walk along the cliff path. And I was on my own. It's pitch black, and there's no one up there. There's a lady. I think she was on the bike or something. She had all these lights on there. So I passed her and I said hello to her. And as I was walking down, I could see them. I think it's 5 of them on the platform. And I sort of shook Paul's hand and I had a chat for him for a bit, and the other lads up there. We sort of stood up there and I was gazing at. We were trying to find these lights, and there was an RAF or a NATO, I think, Operation Cobra Warrior taking place further out at sea because you could hear the jets flying around. And one of them said, "Oh, in a minute you'll see one of them shoot flares up." So I was sort of concentrating on that, looking out, seeing if I could find anything. But at the left-hand side of my eye, it's like a double flash, like someone was below taking a photo. And when you're on that platform, there's a bit of cliff that pokes out. And it's at the corner of my eye, and I was sort of staring out to sea for about 10 minutes, just trying to see these jets flying around just out of interest. It was a full moonlit night as well. The moon was over here to my right, and you see like the lights from miles away, in the distance on the left. I was just staring like that, and it was all like that, just flashing. I was like, look straight there, and immediately walked down that area to see. To me, it's just like somebody double exposed camera taking a photo of us on this cliff top, but you can't. There's a sheer drop. You can't see anything. Fence, and you've got about a foot or so before the edge of the cliff. So I've gone down, just walked off the platform. I've looked down, and all you see is waves crashing up against the cliff face. I mean, I've heard Paul say, "Don't lean over too far because it's quite dangerous up there. If you lean over, you're going straight down into the North Sea. It's quite fence on your back." But I couldn't figure out what that flash was. It was just like a flash, like the first flash. Second one was brighter, so it was like a double. When you used to have the old digital cameras, you used to have a double flash. And I know from ghost hunting, when we used to take flashes, you used to get the orbs come up or dust, it's flashing off the dust. But it used to be a flash and a big flash like that, and there's a double burst or something they called it. That's what this light was like, and it's just flashed up the whole cliff face and the corner of my eye, and I was like, "What was that?" When I looked, nothing there. And I think they've reported other flashes going on up there recently, and odd things on that cliff top. So it's an interesting place.
I reported to Paul, didn't I? The green light that I saw in the sea. And at first, I don't think Paul believed me. And then literally I got a message off him a couple of days later, and he was like, can you tell me a bit more about the green light that you saw in the sea? And I was like, yeah. So I
He's
told him
very
about
busy,
it.
Chris. I send him a message now and again. I sent him a message the other day, yesterday. But yeah, he's obviously got his own show going on and a lot of stuff going on those cliffs. But they're capturing strange stuff
there's
up there.
loads going on around them cliffs and in that sea area. I said to Paul, because I wouldn't put it past it being like a base, an alien base being out in the sea on the just that part, because there's a lot of activity around that cliff face.
Well, I sent him a link. That's the one I spoke to him yesterday. He's very busy, so when he does get back to me, it's sort of like normally a voice note. But he sent me I sent him the article from the BBC. It was posted Friday on the BBC website of a crater, which is, I think he knows it's there. It's always debatable whether it's a crater or an earthquake, ledge collapsing or something. But scientists are now pointing out that it was actually a meteorite hit a couple of miles off of that location. And they're saying how deep it was, how wide it was. Quite interesting because I think there's a magnetic anomaly out there as well, from what I gather. So, or heard. I think he spoke about it before about a magnetic anomaly. So, interesting meteors landed there. They're getting lights and they're getting all strange stuff up there.
We used to get the skippers of the boats saying that their compasses would go crazy at certain points in the North Sea.
Well, you know, don't you? You used to be on the old trawlers, didn't you?
Yeah, so that's where I saw the green light out in the sea while I was out on one of these little fishing boats. And when I spoke to the skipper about it and asked what it was, he said, "We don't know what they are, but we stay away from them because they scare the fish.
So
we have to go further out to sea to get a catch." And they talk about and it isn't just here, the Netherlands, they're talking about seeing these lights in the sea as well. So the North Sea has got some activity. And also recently, Chris Bledsoe said, and also not Bledsoe, what's his bloody name? He's a senator. And he came out and said that there is underwater bases, and one of the bases, or one of the points, is the North Sea.
Right. So you can definitely see something at the sea.
There's a base in the North Sea.
Yeah.
There's too much things that been seen coming out of the sea.
Yeah.
In the North Sea. And that's what makes me think that there's something under the water.
They'd never explore it deep enough, do they, either?
There's parts of the North Sea you can actually stand up in.
Wow.
Is it one of a shallow?
Yeah, you're standing on top of a hill, basically. Before the water was there, before like Doggerland got like flooded, you are standing on top of a hill. And literally your head is about that far above the water, but you're standing on top of a hill. And it's one of the shallowest points in the North Sea. And they have to put buoys around it so you don't run aground.
Wow. Yeah. It's amazing to see just over. I mean, I remember years ago, my brother went down to Land's End and we used to watch the X-Files when it first came out back in the late 90s when I was a teenager, the Outer Limits. He used to go down Devon and Cornwall a lot, and he came back one day telling me about the light seen off of Land's End, off the coast, under the water, that trawlermen had seen. And he said there's a lot of talk of lights under there, you know. But you don't hear, I'll Google it, and there's nothing on Google. It's just hearsay. But it's amazing to see what these people out there. I find it fascinating with lighthouse keepers. You know, what do they see?
Yeah. I bet they see loads.
And they're all sort of out. They're not manned anymore, are they, lighthouses? I don't think there's one manned in the UK. But
it's all
they're way out at sea there.
Automated system now, isn't it? Yeah. It's all linked up.
Even the people that maintain them. They've got to be maintained, the bulbs. What do they see? They must see something of interest. Well, they probably go out there by helicopter. They don't probably go out there by boat anymore. But I was watching one of the BBC archives. It was one of them things you just watch, and it was back from the 70s, really old footage on YouTube about lighthouse keepers. And I think there's 4 of them at a time, and they swap shifts after 4 to 6 weeks. And the boat comes out, and the man knows the waves, his old boat keeper, and he swap these Royal Navy lifeguard sailors that used to man the lighthouses. He used to swap them over. Because I think it was the Navy that used to be, or something, Lighthouse Association. They used to man these lighthouses. And you think you're out there weeks at a time, you can see the whole sky, and what did they see out there? Never said anything.
I bet they've had to say sign something.
I'd love to go through their logs and just see what they've seen. Just
yeah.
Bright orange light seen at so and so time, northeast, northwest, whatever, out in the ocean. Don't know, maybe a flare. That's what they're passed off as, isn't it? It's like, lifeguards, they sort of go out to these things and they think they're flares. But
yeah, all the fisher boats and things.
There is one in Scarborough that actually did that. Somebody reported seeing an orange light out at sea. So the lifeboat was scrambled, thinking it was somebody in distress, and they searched all night and everything. This is before helicopters.
Yeah,
Before the Royal Lifeboat had helicopters. They used to just go out in boats, and they searched all night and didn't find anything.
no.
So was it somebody with a flare and they got there too late, or was it something else? Because somebody reported.
It's right. There's a story I read years ago down at Selsey Bill down here. Man was walking along the beachfront at night and saw an orange light out at sea. Thought it was a flare. It wasn't. It was unknown, whatever it was. Disappeared, came up, looked like a flare, quite a big pulsating orange light, and then it sort of just went down below the waterline and just didn't come back.
Well, what
And I
about
read up on that, but I'm trying to find it because it was an interesting case at the time, but I can't find anything anywhere on it.
there was
guys, I'm going to have to just chat to sort tea out. If that's all
Yeah,
right.
we'll
You
probably
have
call
to
it a night in a sec. 'Cause,
Yeah.
So I'll leave you two to it though, yeah?
Another 6
All right.
minutes, Chris, and then we'll shut it down. But there's a problem with conversation. You just get rolled in, don't you? And
So you get carried away. But lovely to speak to you both. I'll leave you both to carry on for a bit for everyone.
no worries, Claire. You take
All
care.
right, see you everyone. Yeah,
See you
bye. Bye.
So yeah, I'll say it's probably give it another 6 minutes, and then I suppose I'll have to go and get some dinner myself. I imagine.
Yeah, well, I might. I don't know whether I'm going to crash out or carry on researching. I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
I bet we'll probably be chatting again later, mate, on the messenger. We'll find something.
Mate,
Oh,
at
well,
4
okay,
o'clock in
sit
the morning, I'll be chatting to you.
Keep me company.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say, with the whole stream thing we got going, it is going to be once a month. We're going to be doing this because obviously you do it every other weekend, every weekend. You just run out of subjects to talk about. So basically, what we're bringing here is basically trying to get people involved and get chatting, ask questions, and with whatever subject we're trying to cover of interest of anyone. It's not just going to be about lights in the sky, UFOs, and that. Just to bring everything to the table.
I didn't have anything written down. I just winged it.
No, so this is just literally was just a chat about how we're going to progress this platform, how much I want to progress it, and once a month I'm going to start funding it, and that's where hopefully come on and we chat about all things odd that's going on in the news lately.
I'll definitely help out, and that we'll get it all sorted, and then we can start coming up with an itinerary of like what we wanted to discuss and talk about, and but there's so much going on.
Oh, we've got loads of things to cover.
Yeah,
especially over the next couple of months with these comments and stuff. I mean, and with disclosure thing going on, I think it'd be great, just to have a chat, get everyone's opinions on it. Because we've got a few people in the chat, Tyler, and we had Christina as well.
Yeah.
So had a few views. So yeah, not bad.
Well, the more that we do, the more we'll get established. The more people will jump in.
I'm not looking for fame or anything. It's just getting it out there and having a chat.
Information sharing, that's
discussion,
it.
isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
general discussion on it all. Chris has got an interest. He's got years of stuff on it. I mean, I've got, since I was 15 years old, I've always been looking at this. And I'll tell you, it was the Black Vault that got me into it. Old John from the Black Vault, and he's running it. Yeah, so I've been following that site, government files and that, ever since I was 15, and EX files and the Outer Limits. So I've always had an interest in it. But yeah, it's just mainly to bring this show. And also, I still do field work. I think Chris still goes out as well, and just sharing evidence really on what we catch.
Yeah.
Right, Chris, isn't it?
Yep, get it out there, share it.
Yeah. So what we do is we bring the show to an end, guys. So just to say thanks for support, and give us a like and a share. Brilliant. And the next one we do, hopefully we'll have better graphics and background and an intro. I want to work on that. I've got a month to do it.
Yeah.
And some music or something with the intro. Make it a bit more interesting.
But it's been good that we haven't had no technical issues this time.
Not this time. So last time it was the internet, wasn't it? And then my mic was
just everything. My internet went down for a whole day. I was doing all this off my phone before on a laptop, and it was always have connection issues. And got this iMac Pro, which I got gifted to me from a friend who was going to throw it out, and I've done it up. I've updated the software on it, and it seems to be working fine. And last one, the Blue Yeti mic wouldn't work. I couldn't get that to connect. Now that's working fine, so all good. Hopefully from now on, won't have any tech issues with it. Well then.
So we'll say good night and see you in a month's time, everyone. So have a great rest of the evening.
Yeah, we'll see you in the future.
I'll chat to you later, Chris.
All right.
Take care.
I'll see you later.
Bye, everyone.
Cheers, everyone.
I know.